Hi everyone, welcome to another video here on She's Fit. You work out, you watch what you eat, but the scale won't budge, while that stubborn belly fat only seems to get more persistent. What nobody told you is that your body isn't being difficult. It's chemically locked by a hormonal signaling error that ignores every diet you try. Today, you'll discover how to unlock this invisible gear and finally force your metabolism to burn visceral fat automatically. Before we dive in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update. And do me a huge favor, smash that like button. It really helps me keep bringing this life-changing content to you. Trust me, here at She's Fit, you're going to discover how to transform your body the right way. So, let's get into it. Before we start, I need to share something that has made all the difference for me. You know those days when you try hard but feel like your body just isn't responding the way it should? Well, I found out that sleep has way more impact on weight loss than I ever imagined. That's when I discovered Sleep Lean, a natural supplement specially designed to help women burn fat while they sleep. Yes, while they sleep. It's not a miracle, of course, but when combined with good nutrition and the right habits, the results are amazing. I personally felt my body lighter, my belly less bloated, and a different kind of energy just within the first few weeks. I'll leave the link here in the description so you can check all the details after the video. Trust me, it was a game changer for me. Now, let's get back to the video content. To understand why your belly fat isn't going away, we need to talk about insulin, but not in the basic or superficial way you've heard before. In the female body, insulin resistance acts exactly like a broken or worn-out key stuck inside the lock of your cells. Imagine your cells are energy warehouses that desperately need fuel, but the door is jammed. The sugar from your last meal just sits there, circulating in your bloodstream with nowhere to go, triggering a code red alert throughout your entire system. Your pancreas, entering a state of biological panic, starts pumping out massive doses of insulin in a desperate attempt to force that door open. The massive problem here is that insulin isn't just a sugar transporter. It is the master hormone of fat storage. When your insulin levels are chronically high, it acts as a biological kill switch that completely shuts down your ability to oxidize fat. It is chemically impossible to burn visceral fat in the presence of high insulin. This hormonal surplus signals to your brain that your body is in a state of dangerous abundance, and the absolute command is to store every extra calorie exactly in the abdominal region, where fat receptors are most sensitive to this specific signal. This is why so many women fall into a cycle of self-punishment. They slash calories drastically, starve themselves, and kill themselves with exhaustive cardio, yet their belly stays exactly the same. What they don't realize is that while a calorie deficit might exist on paper, the internal hormonal environment says otherwise. As long as that insulin key is broken, the process of lipolysis, the breakdown of fat for energy, is locked behind steel bars. You could run marathons and eat nothing but lettuce, but if your hormonal signaling is spiking insulin 24/7, your body will actually prefer to digest your own muscle tissue for energy before it touches a single gram of fat stored around your waist. This is the invisible error that turns your genetics into a prison, forcing your metabolism to work against you instead of for you. When this hormonal error takes root and becomes chronic, a perverse physiological phenomenon occurs called fuel partitioning. Imagine a detour in your body as energy highway. Instead of nutrients heading to your muscles and your brain, they are hijacked and rerouted directly to the fat cells in your belly. The result is a cruel biological irony. You are gaining weight and accumulating fat, but your muscle cells are literally starving. They aren't getting the fuel they need to function, which is exactly why women with this blockage feel an overwhelming sense of exhaustion, especially that devastating mid-afternoon energy crash where it feels like your battery just hit zero. This detour explains why those uncontrollable cravings for sweets, bread, or pasta have absolutely nothing to do with a lack of discipline or willpower. Because glucose isn't entering your cells to create ATP, our body is energy currency, your brain enters survival mode. It interprets the situation as a severe energy crisis and issues an emergency command for you to seek out the fastest energy source possible: sugar. It's a primitive hormonal survival response where your body prioritizes building up fat stores in the abdominal region as a strategic safety reserve, protecting your vital organs from a supposed scarcity that only exists because of your body's faulty hormonal signaling. In this state, your body becomes an extremely efficient storage machine and an incredibly lazy burning machine. While your fat cells multiply and become inflamed, your muscles grow weak and your thinking becomes sluggish, creating what we call brain fog. You feel bloated, heavy, and drained of energy for even the simplest tasks, all while your waistline expands day after day. It is vital to understand that you are not lazy, and you don't lack self-control. You are simply the victim of a signaling system that has decided your survival depends on holding onto every single ounce of belly fat, completely ignoring the fact that you are trying to lose weight. The second fundamental pillar of this hormonal error, and perhaps the most treacherous one, is cortisol. Known as the stress hormone, cortisol has one life mission: to ensure you survive an imminent threat. The problem is that your body cannot tell the difference between the stress of a lion chasing you and the stress of a past due bill or a poor night's sleep. When cortisol levels stay elevated for too long, it triggers a ruthless process of fat redistribution. It literally strips fatty acids from your arms and legs, making your extremities thinner, and transports them directly to your torso. This is why so many women notice that even though their arms and legs look fine, their belly continues to grow disproportionately. In the female body, high cortisol signals that the external environment is dangerous and hostile. In response, it aggressively activates an enzyme called lipoprotein lipase, but with a cruel twist, it activates it specifically in the adipose tissues of the abdominal region. This enzyme acts like a magnet, pulling all circulating fat into your belly cells. The result is that deep visceral fat, which creates a bloated, rigid belly that is often even tender to the touch. Unlike soft subcutaneous fat, this stress fat is metabolically active and inflammatory, sending even more panic signals throughout your system. The fatal mistake happens when, in an attempt to lose this belly, you decide to crush yourself with high-intensity workouts like height or endless cardio without proper recovery. For a body already redlining on cortisol, this excessive physical exertion is interpreted as yet another death threat. This creates a devastating vicious cycle. The more you exhaust yourself at the gym, the more your body believes it's in a war zone, and the more it feels it must stockpile visceral fat as a protective armor against the strain. You end up exhausted and inflamed, working 10 times harder than everyone else, but seeing the opposite results because your own defense system is sabotaging your aesthetics in the name of a misguided biological safety protocol. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving deep into a topic that so many of you have asked about: stubborn belly fat. It's more than just a cosmetic concern. It's a major player in your overall health and can seriously sabotage your weight loss efforts. Why is it so hard to lose? The answer lies in your hormones. Let's break it down. First, let's understand that not all fat is created equal. The fat you can pinch, called subcutaneous fat, is just under your skin. But the real troublemaker is visceral fat, the deep belly fat that surrounds your vital organs. This isn't just a passive storage depot for calories. Think of visceral fat as an active, hormone-producing factory, and unfortunately, it's not churning out the good stuff. One of the key hormones it messes with is cortisol, often called the stress hormone. When you're stressed, your body releases cortisol. Normally, this is fine in short bursts, but chronic stress, which is so common in modern life, leads to chronically elevated cortisol levels. High cortisol tells your body to store fat, specifically around your midsection. So, you have a vicious cycle. Stress causes belly fat, and then the belly fat itself can contribute to a state of inflammation, which your body perceives as a stressor, leading to even more cortisol. It's a feedback loop that's incredibly hard to break. Next up is insulin. Insulin's job is to help your cells absorb glucose from your bloodstream for energy. When you eat, especially carbs and sugar, your blood sugar rises, and your pancreas releases insulin to manage it. However, excess visceral fat makes your cells resistant to insulin signals. This is called insulin resistance. Your pancreas has to work overtime, pumping out more and more insulin to get the job done. High insulin levels are a powerful signal to your body to store fat, particularly in the abdominal area. Again, it's a cycle. Belly fat causes insulin resistance, and insulin resistance promotes more belly fat storage. This is a major roadblock to weight loss and a stepping stone toward type 2 diabetes. Now let's talk about leptin, the satiety or fullness hormone. Leptin is produced by your fat cells and tells your brain when you've had enough to eat. In theory, the more fat you have, the more leptin you should produce, and the less hungry you should feel. But with excess belly fat, a condition called leptin resistance can develop. Your brain becomes deaf to leptin signals. So even though you have high levels of leptin circulating, your brain thinks you're starving. This drives you to eat more, even when your body has plenty of energy stored. It also slows down your metabolism to conserve energy. You feel hungry all the time, your cravings are through the roof, and your body is in fat storage mode. Sound familiar? On the flip side, we have ghrelin, the hunger hormone. Ghrelin is produced in your stomach and tells your brain it's time to eat. Its levels are typically high before a meal and low after. Studies suggest that in people with significant abdominal fat, ghrelin levels don't decrease as much after eating. This means you might not feel fully satisfied after a meal, leading you to eat again sooner. It is like your body's stop eating signal is broken while the go eat signal is stuck on high. Visceral fat also impacts your sex hormones. In both men and women, an enzyme found in fat tissue called aromatase converts testosterone into estrogen. The more belly fat you have, the more aromatase activity you have. For men, this means lower testosterone and higher estrogen levels, which can lead to muscle loss, low energy, and even more fat storage in the belly and chest. For women, especially after menopause, this can lead to an imbalance with too much estrogen relative to progesterone, which also encourages fat storage around the midsection. So, you see, it's not just about calories in, calories out. Your belly fat is actively working against you by creating a hormonal environment that encourages more fat storage, increases hunger, and slows your metabolism. It's a tough cycle, but the good news is you can break it. So, how do we fight back? It's not about doing 1,000 crunches. You can't spot reduce fat. The key is to address the underlying hormonal imbalances with a holistic approach. First, manage your stress to lower cortisol. This is non-negotiable. Find what works for you. It could be meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, spending time in nature, or simply taking 15 minutes a day for a hobby you love. Prioritizing sleep is also crucial. Aim for 7-9 hours of quality sleep per night. Lack of sleep is a major stressor that spikes cortisol and disrupts hunger hormones. Second, improve your insulin sensitivity. The best way to do this is by reducing your intake of sugar and refined carbohydrates. Think white bread, pasta, sugary drinks, and processed snacks. Instead, focus on a diet rich in whole foods, lean proteins, healthy fats, and lots of fiber from vegetables, legumes, and whole grains. Fiber is especially important as it slows down digestion and helps stabilize blood sugar levels. Healthy fats, like those from avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil, are also your friend. Third, let's talk exercise. A combination of cardiovascular exercise and strength training is most effective. Cardio, like brisk walking, running, or cycling, helps burn calories and reduce overall body fat, including visceral fat. But don't skip the weights. Building muscle through resistance training is a powerful way to boost your metabolism. Muscle tissue is more metabolically active than fat, meaning it burns more calories even at rest. More muscle also improves your body's insulin sensitivity. High-intensity interval training, or HIIT, is also incredibly effective for targeting visceral fat in a short amount of time. Fourth, focus on healing your gut. The health of your gut microbiome is directly linked to inflammation and hormonal balance. Eating a variety of fiber-rich, plant-based foods can nourish your good gut bacteria. Probiotic and prebiotic foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and onions can also be beneficial. Remember, this is a long-term game. These hormonal imbalances didn't happen overnight, and they won't be fixed overnight either. Be patient and consistent with these lifestyle changes. Focus on creating healthy habits rather than seeking a quick fix. Small, sustainable changes add up to big results over time. Instead of thinking about losing belly fat, think about creating a healthy hormonal environment. When you support your body's natural balance, the fat loss will follow as a natural side effect. It's about more than just looking better. It's about feeling better, having more energy, and reducing your risk for chronic diseases. You have the power to change your body's chemistry from the inside out. I hope this video helped you understand the science behind why belly fat is so stubborn and gave you some actionable steps to start taking control. It's a complex topic, so feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed health and wellness content. See you in the next one. To reverse this systemic error, you need to ditch the archaic eat less, move more mentality. The real strategy to unlock the female metabolism isn't severe calorie restriction, which would only spike your stress levels, but rather eating strategically to signal safety to your brain. When you consume nutrient-dense foods, you send a chemical message that the famine is over. Your absolute focus must be on restoring insulin sensitivity. This means we need to fix that broken lock we mentioned earlier. By strictly managing the glycemic index and prioritizing fiber to slow down digestion, you prevent the insulin spikes that issue the command to store fat. Furthermore, introducing healthy, essential fats is a non-negotiable step. These fats aren't just fuel, they are the building blocks that stabilize your cell membranes, making them more fluid and receptive to hormonal signals. When the cell membrane is healthy, insulin can deliver glucose with ease, and your pancreas can finally stop overproducing hormones. This is the exact moment your body receives biological permission to access the belly fat stores that were locked away behind closed doors. Without this cellular restoration, any diet will just be temporary suffering with a guaranteed yo-yo effect. The other master pillar is optimizing your circadian rhythm. Your body has an internal biological clock that dictates when to burn and when to store. If you ignore sleep hygiene, you are sabotaging your weight loss. It is exclusively during deep sleep phases that your body releases growth hormone, or GH. GH is the natural antagonist to insulin and your primary tissue repair agent. It acts like a nighttime foreman, mobilizing stored abdominal fat to be used as energy while you rest. If you don't sleep well, or if you eat high amounts of sugar before bed, insulin spikes and blocks GH. You wake up exhausted with a stalled metabolism, missing the only 24-hour window where fat burning happens automatically and deeply. Tired of endless cardio with zero results for that stubborn belly fat? It's time to completely rethink your strategy. The real solution isn't about melting fat on a treadmill. It's about fixing a hormonal error. And the final piece of that puzzle is building lean muscle. Think of muscle as your body's most powerful, and most overlooked, weight loss tool. It's a natural glucose sink. The more muscle you have, the more sugar your body burns automatically, even when you're just relaxing on the couch or sleeping at night. Building strength increases your insulin receptors, which means your pancreas doesn't have to work so hard. This finally gives your body permission to release that stored abdominal fat to be used for energy. But here's the catch. You absolutely have to manage your stress. If you're constantly stressed out, your body is flooded with cortisol, and your workout just adds more inflammation to the mix. Simple things like deep breathing exercises, getting some morning sunlight, and setting firm boundaries with work can make a huge difference. These techniques turn off the danger signal in your brain. When your cortisol levels drop, your body realizes it no longer needs that protective layer of fat around your organs. You're giving it the biological all clear to let go of the excess weight. Finally, you need to align your diet with your natural hormonal cycle. Stop fighting your body and start working with it. This means listening to your hunger cues, resting when you need to, and pushing harder when your metabolism is naturally at its peak. When you combine smart nutrition, strength training, and stress management, you shift your body from survival storage mode into a state of total metabolic efficiency. The reward isn't just a flatter stomach. It's a return to the kind of energy, mental clarity, and pure vitality you probably haven't experienced in years. If you found this helpful, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more tips on how to work with your body, not against it. Thanks for watching. Now that you realize the problem isn't your dedication, but a breakdown in internal communication, the power to change is entirely in your hands. By applying what we covered today, you'll stop fighting against your biology and start working with it to achieve the body you've always wanted. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly which foods act as the ultimate antidotes to this hormonal blockage, so get ready for a total transformation. And don't forget the tip I gave you at the beginning. If you need to lose weight, click the link in the video description and get Sleep Lean right now. It might be exactly what's missing in your journey. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe here to She's Fit, and share this video to help the channel grow. Also, let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see next to help you on your weight loss journey.